Us three regular guys with a podcast.
Why is it a big deal, though? Like, I don't understand why. Like, what is...
Because I didn't think you knew anybody.
Who can laugh at each other's expense.
And right there, my knee was just...
Who have the utmost confidence in each other's athletic abilities.
Sub 5.
You're a sub 5 on one of them little tricycles with the little bleep bleep air horns on the...
And whose guests absolutely love joining them on the show.
What are your thoughts on that?
You got some nerve really asking me.
The Choopin' It Up podcast starts in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this is the Choopin' It Up. You guys could talk. Don't worry. You don't have to wait for me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We don't want to steal your
I
thunder.
just got yelled at last time I was doing anything, so I was waiting for you to say something.
This is episode
19.
19. Are you sure?
19, my
19.
favorite number.
19 of the Choopin' It Up podcast.
Just know that 20 is Jay Kenny's special episode.
Does he know he's coming back? Is he?
Oh, wow.
I don't know, but he's one
Are you gonna let him know this time? Or?
Hopefully.
James.
It's your job to remind me. Don't forget that.
Next week we're gonna have the empty chair there, Matt, again.
2 times in a row.
I know. He's going to pop out of the pool.
You got a prop today, huh?
Yeah.
You've been practicing?
Yeah.
I hope so.
No, so how it works for travel baseball, I just let Chef hit the fungos. You know what I mean?
Well,
I just felt like I needed a prop like Pat
Just gonna
McAfee.
keep
Chuff
mouth
told me.
shut.
Chuff told me he's lucky you show up.
really?
Never mind, you let him hit fungos.
Today, yeah, he did get on me today for being late. I did let him know I was going to be late.
You're a lefty?
Yes. I swing lefty.
So you swing a baseball bat lefty, but you golf righty.
Yes,
What do you throw?
righty. I do everything else righty. I just swing a baseball bat
So
lefty.
do you think if you swung righty, you
might
would
be
have avoided that hurdle that was in
Yes.
your way that particular day?
Yes, because if I
The
tugged
kid-
one inside, it would have been where the kid was not. Because I'm a lefty, it's a disadvantage. Actually, really, it's a disadvantage. So I tugged inside, and
You know what it could be?
yeah.
It could be.
Did I stink?
Well,
I didn't want to say it.
that goes without saying.
I didn't want to say it, but
But-
since you brought it
Yeah.
up.
It might be your short arms throwing the ball up to yourself.
No.
I got a big head and little arms.
Pterodactyl. Ha! Ha!
See, I feel like that's inaccurate because you do I have long arms. I have my arms are probably
You're going to show us your arms now because we called you out on your
Yeah,
arms.
no, they're
No, you have short arms. You just have even shorter legs and a shorter torso.
Could be it. Torso does seem very, very short. A very compact torso. I'll give you that. So, right out of the gate, I'm letting you guys know.
Uh-huh.
Have made zero communication with John Runco this week.
Oh,
What
God.
in the heck is going on?
I'm a take.
Summer hits and
normally,
nobody's around.
normally,
He's sick of us.
Yeah.
he just says, sends me the report card. I feel like I need to do a better job. Hey man,
You know
we're
what's
recording.
ridiculous?
Yeah.
What's ridiculous is Steve Galley goes a free pass without Runco's report card.
Yeah, that's true.
He did say he listened to it. I know that because he did text me.
Yeah.
Quote from Runco: "Galley is surprisingly better than I thought he would be." That is a quote.
That's a
from him.
Runco statement.
Yes.
How do you feel about Ohtani? You're my baseball guy.
Making the All-Star game for pitching
Just
and
in general of what he's doing this year of pitching, hitting, playing the field.
I'm trying to like equate what he's doing. All right, so I feel like
So for us idiots, what's he doing?
No, I feel like what he just playing the field, being an everyday player, but also being an ace pitcher.
Uh-huh.
I would say he's probably doing for baseball in the future, like what Steph Curry did. Like now,
Like-
for basketball
Like
changed.
how
Now it's a
basically
lot of
Steph extended everybody's
Yeah.
range. Like shooting should be
Yep.
a very big part of your game now.
I feel like Ohtani is currently a unicorn. He's the only guy that plays the field, pitches, is an ace. Now I feel like more guys are.
What is he in the top 5 for home runs also right now too?
He's close to the top. I feel like he might
If
be
he's
leading.
not the top,
yeah, I think
yeah.
he might be. So he's going to be I feel like right now he's the only guy that's going to do it, but in 10 years,
There
I
could
feel
be
like
somebody.
I feel like it's going to be not a common occurrence. Not all 5 of your starters are going to be, but that's going to be just the next crop. Like kids are going to start developing the ability to, okay, I'm going to be a really good pitcher, but I still want to swing the bat at a high level. You know, it's just, I feel like that's just where it's going. I could be wrong, but normally when you see one guy does it, who do the kids want to be like?
Right.
Probably Ohtani now, right? It's Ohtani this, Ohtani that.
But does Daddy Ball get in the way?
Ooh, good question.
That is a very good question. I don't know. But I really like what he's doing. I think he's a stud. People thought he was going to kind of fizzle out, and that's the best part, because last year I forget what kind of injury he had, or maybe it was 2 years ago. It might have actually been a UCL where he couldn't pitch. All right, you get a guy that can't pitch, especially pitchers now, they make a whole bunch of money. All right, he can't pitch. Well, this guy could play left field, right field. Well, all right, maybe not right field. He could DH for you if you're in the American League. Soon it'll be the National League too, because they're going to adopt the DH rule as well. So
Really?
At some point they'll adopt the DH rule, yes. So he could still swing a
I
bat.
don't like that.
So now you don't have.
That's baseball. Your pitcher's supposed to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's John Rocco.
Oh, God.
should
Put him
I-
on.
This is perfect timing.
John, we are currently recording. So before you are being recorded right now. So is this like a
wanna
live
throw it out
call-in report card?
This
or
is for
this
quality assurance.
For quality assurance, yeah. I'm just wondering.
Quality assurance. Yeah, this is a live call and report card because I'm driving home from work. I was in the ER all day and I cannot write a report card. So when you say usually you don't record this early, usually I have to about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, well, today we're at 7:54. I'm usually around here. Oh,
Hooper got out of work early.
I was expecting some technical difficulties, so I figured that would buy me at least a half hour.
No, not today. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're good. So did you set us up, Hooper? Did you know this was coming in?
No, I had no idea. I thought it was our.
He just randomly called you while we were recording.
I sent him a text. I said we are currently
okay.
recording.
Okay.
I meant to add, hey, if you want to send us a report card in the next hour, we'll read it. And then all I got was recording, and I just sent that. So figured Runko would know what it meant, and he did.
Runko,
Yeah.
how are you, buddy?
I'm right on the ball here. Yeah, actually, we can get right down to it. I was thinking about it all day.
Oh, God.
What to say here and there, because I was honestly impressed by Steve.
Told you,
I really was.
wasn't
What's that?
I told him that because I wasn't sure if we were going to get a report card. I'm like, Runko did say, and I quote, I was impressed. I didn't think Steve Galley was going to be that good.
Yeah, he fit right in with you guys. It seemed really good. He kind of ball hogged on Boar's stories, but he's like, "Oh, Boar, tell us about that time we did this." And he's like, "No, wait, it didn't go like that." And I'm like, "All right, well then don't ask him to tell the story."
Boar might have been sleeping through parts of those stories anyway.
Before
there's
you get into the report card, Matt and I were at a wedding reception on Friday evening.
Yes, we were.
In which your sister was present and sitting at our table, and my table, not Matt's. Matt came over a little later after dinner, but anyway, Danielle goes on and asks me if I'm on that podcast. That I don't know if she said dumb, stupid, might have been one of those, but podcast that you keep calling into, that Runko's report card, and she said that. Nobody cares what you think.
Yeah, well, that's my sister. I mean, she's just oblivious to the world. I don't even think she knows what a podcast is.
She's gonna have to listen to this one. We'll make sure it gets there.
Yeah.
You're in traffic. You're on the way home. So you want to give if you want to give the report card now, and then I got a question for you. It's really up to you. Whatever you want to do, man. And hey, I got a new segment, so we actually could introduce that while you're on the air if you want, before you get off.
I think we lost him.
You there?
Yeah, we lost him.
A dumpster fire, as I stated previously.
We
there he is.
didn't hear anything you just said before dumpster fire.
You're not coming through the tunnel, are you?
Are you coming?
No,
No,
I'm
you
on
don't lose cell service in the tunnel. I would know.
Yeah. Okay, what were we saying, Runks?
I think we lost him again.
Oh, God. Runks.
What do you think the life of like Runko's like?
Did I drop down or am I back?
There
No,
you go.
you're back
You're
now.
back
Yeah,
now.
you dropped out for a quick sec. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, my bad. All right, well, I'm in the southern tier of New York right now, so sometimes it goes in, but that should be the only spot.
Okay.
Anywho, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Steve, I thought coming out was going to be exactly what Piercy thought when he would come to practice. I thought it was going to be the same analogy. Especially when you had Boron, I said, this is going to go south quick. But it did not. All the stories were really, really funny. With you guys, I think for having Steve as a co-host was almost like having Steve as a guest, because he kind of did take over most of the banter back and forth, especially when it came with Bohr and telling stories. And the OWE and all this stuff, what I will say is a lot of the times I felt very, very sad. What a sad world when we're still, I mean, we're in our 30s and we're going to have professional wrestling matches in the backyard.
Yo, are you going to come to it? Or are you going to make an appearance, drive up for it? We're getting you on record now because it's definitely happening. So, you want a match?
Little do you guys know, I'm actually the masked man.
Oh, wow.
Might have to cut that out. We can't be revealing things like
We got
that.
the great reveal.
Or maybe I'll just post it to the OWE page. Great reveal. We
Post
figured
it
out.
right-
Chooping Up podcast. Figured out who the masked man was.
Investigative reporting at its finest.
You're welcome, people.
Yeah, I mean, I just did admit it. There wasn't much investigating going on, but
Right. Yeah, they
yeah,
don't.
Don't take a win from us.
All right, well then you get the win. I do think it was overall great. I think for some parts it was a little bit too. Let's continue to call on the past and talk about how many times Bohr was beaten by some type of object, but you understand what I mean. I do also think that Bohr did fall asleep at least 3 times in the interview.
There's no doubt. I agree. There was one part that he didn't talk for at least 12 minutes.
Yeah, if you turn up the audio on you'll definitely hear some snoring.
Oh, God.
But overall, it's not as good as the Piercy episode. Overall, I still think it was really, really good. Honestly, I really did like it a lot. I think you should definitely have Steve on again. I would give him, as a guest, really like a solid B+. I mean, for the first person to come on, he was your first
Live,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
It was great.
Supposed to be Jay Kenny, but Matt messed that one up. So.
Yeah, he took a bad report card for that.
Yep.
I don't think on this one, honestly, having him there, I don't think I'm going to dissect and give you guys all individual scores, because I think you're all kind of leveling out and finding where you're supposed to be. You're all right around that B+ era, except for Hooper. You're right, still at like a C-. I will say one thing though, with the add of Steve Galley, it was a little bit. And this is going to come out of my mouth, and people are going to go, "What's wrong with you?" But I think you were a little hard on little Stevie Hooper. I think it was a little bit too much.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, thanks, man. I went home and cried. Actually, I did.
Who are we talking to right now?
Yeah, Ronks, I appreciate you. Get my back.
It was a pile on Hooper for like 30 minutes straight, where it was just brutal. I was driving to work cringing, like, oh, this poor bastard.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I drive.
And he just keeps coming back for more.
Yeah, I bring my laptop, I bring my camera, just glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no, I'll make it through, guys.
Honestly, overall, I give the pod a solid B+. I think it was great. It was really good. It wasn't as good as Piercy's. Piercy's, I think, was really, really good. I thought that flowed awesome. I think your banter before the phone call was better. So I won't say this may not break top 3, but it's way up there. It was really good.
Nice.
Banter before the podcast is this, before the guest. This is it. You called 3 minutes into recording, so perfect.
But I do also like the fact that Steve didn't listen to one episode. You guys should do this every week.
Yeah, you gave him a B+. He said, "Oh, you guys should do this every week." We do actually. Runko writes a report card or calls it in every week. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I got a really good chuckle. I said, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You guys should do this." Well, thanks. We thought of it 19 episodes ago, but yeah, overall, not bad, Steve.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I got.
So there you go.
So you're not the only person. I got a message from one Mark Avellino that said Steve should just be like a regular on the podcast. He should just be the fourth guy. I don't know if we're there yet, but I wouldn't mind having him here every now and again.
What you should do is have Corey Shefchik come on and do his Mark Avellino impression.
Wow.
And you would pee your pants laughing.
Okay.
I think you got to know Mark to get the impression, though.
Yeah, you don't. So you wouldn't get it. So yeah, I would be the only one that would get it. And people that listen that know Mark Avellino. I don't know how many. I know Mark Avellino's a listener.
Well, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I got a question for you, Ronks.
All right.
So your cousin Miranda was named the AAA or the 3A Player of the Year for softball.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that, my man?
It's well deserved. Just look at the stats, and that's not even. I'm not talking for Mid Valley. This year for her will be unmatched in the next probably 50 years in this division. I cannot see another person doing what she did in 1 year.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's unreal.
What really blows my mind was Friday. Last weekend, but I know she played 2 games on Friday because Piercy and them were listening in or watching in while we were at this wedding reception, and she's out in Colorado at a college showcase. First game, she hits a home run, singles, and in her third at bat in a college showcase, they intentionally walk her.
Yeah.
And then follows up in the second game with another homer and a single. I mean, you're in a how do you think? What I can't get over is you have a potential college pitcher on the mound with a lot of big schools. From what I heard, Florida State, Notre Dame, Clemson, they were all hounding the backstop watching Miranda, right? You have a girl that's trying to get a scholarship in a showcase. Let me try to blow three pitches by Miranda. Right? Show I belong. And your coach knows, nope, take first.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
And you know who that looks really good for, I feel like? Miranda.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
You want to talk about respecting somebody's bat, that's it right there. But the biggest thing with her, and I'm not very familiar with her. She's a lot younger than me. I don't go to a lot of games because I'm not in the area. My sister's been to every single one. And same thing with the Punk. He goes to a lot of them. But
Punk.
her humbleness.
Shout out Punk.
Her humbleness is what is humbleness. That's a word, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what blows my mind. I mean, I don't even think she realizes that she's a once in generation. That season is one you'll never see a season like that again. And she's just going like, oh yeah, well I did all right. The team. I'm like, what is this? This is insane.
Even in the paper today, they interviewed her, obviously, and getting her remarks, having been named the state player of the year. And she's like, well, it was a great year. This, like you said, team. And, I'm doing A, B, and C because I got to get better for next year. So the kid has already set the bar where we're all looking at it from the outside going, I don't know if you could repeat that.
Right.
And she's going, well, here's where my expectations at.
It could have been better. Yeah, right.
But
the one thing she will repeat is the amount of intentional walks that she gets. She may break that record.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking when I say this because I was already approached by a fellow athletic director about potentially playing us in an exhibition game next year. And, and I told him, I said, from the exhibition standpoint, I kind of give Piercy the freedom to
get who he wants.
Yeah, draw up his own exhibition schedule and just tell me who you're playing and what dates, and I'll get them all situated. But it was joked about, and I think I might actually just run with this the next 2 years. We will not play you unless you agree that you're going to pitch to Miranda.
I like that.
In an exhibition. Otherwise, we're going to go find somebody else that'll pitch to her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now listen, regular season, if I'm opposing her, I wouldn't, even her first at bat, I might walk her.
Right.
If you're in that league and you saw what she did this year, like there's no reason that you should pitch to her. But like exhibition, give it,
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, but you just look at Mariah, look at Mackenzie, the two that predecessed her as her older sisters. I mean, she's had a baseball or a softball and a softball bat in her hand since she could probably walk. So, I mean, it really shows what work she's put in.
Right.
What I'm sure Mariah helped a ton with her as well. She was very, very devoted to softball.
Yeah.
it's just she's just incredible. Just incredible.
That is really the part that really blows my mind with her as I've gotten more turns around the sun here, and the fact that when I got to Mid Valley, Mariah was a junior. Mackenzie might have been in maybe say 6th grade, and with them throughout their activities, whether it was basketball, softball, that kind of stuff, Miranda was always around, always in the gym, always around, and just running around. You'd look back, and now obviously, nobody ever says, "Oh my God, she's going to be the state player of the year."
Right.
But to watch her grow up, and like you said, how many times while they're at, whether it was Mackenzie or Mariah at high school practice, Dad had her out in the cage just throwing a couple balls to her here and there, or having her pitch to him in the cage, and she was always, and that's only the little sliver of what I saw.
Right.
Exactly, and that's not, and I know this might sound a little backward, but what she does is not taught; it's learned.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where it comes from. It's just embedded, and it just shows. I mean, I've never seen an athlete. I'm not talking high school boys, whatever, football, anything. I've never seen an athlete like that.
No, and that's where when we talked last week and we touched on Kranick a little bit and his story, and I mentioned that play he made at our place against Abington in that league title game where he threw the kid out on a dart from essentially shallow left field, threw a strike to the catcher. Like, that's not normal. So
I
that's
gotta own up. I gotta own up on Kranick. I watched him pitch, and I thought his fastball was too flat. I thought he'd make the major leagues, but they'd use him as a bullpen. So I'm going to eat my word. I was eating my words every inning. Every inning he went perfect. I had a sink lower in my chair.
Well, still
his
perfect.
Fastball was too straight.
Thank God.
His fastball was too straight and not hard enough. But it's what the MLB does. They know what talent is. That's why I'm a registered nurse working in an ICU, and
not
they're
a
picking out
scout.
star players.
Exactly.
Well, we have our GM right here next to us.
Yeah, Hooper's a future GM.
Yeah, I could be.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I feel like I could be.
Although I did see your boy sink that putt to win in that golf tournament.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he's gonna be.
That might be. He's retiring.
Yeah. Did you watch? So
retiring.
you saw that? How much else did you just see that on social media? Did you watch a little bit of it? I know you're a busy guy, but it's actually on in the background here. The replay.
I saw it on social media. I just saw little bits and pieces there because I'm also a Barstool guy.
Yeah.
So I like to hate Bryson, and he's just awkward man. So I was just trying to find little tidbits of that to laugh at today. But I did watch some of that, and then actually today, which was fantastic. On my break, I sat down and turned on the England-Denmark soccer game, and as soon as I turned it on, that penalty kick was going on, so I got to watch that live.
What blows my mind through the match is I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive Brooks Koepka did not even put out a single tweet.
The entire time?
The entire time.
Really?
I was waiting for anything to him talk trash.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the dynamic between the two of them.
You want to pop a rating? You put Brooks on one, give him some celebrity help. I mean, I love Phil had some great, like Phil's commentary. Phil's awesome.
Yeah, Phil's great at it.
Phil's awesome. But you want people to watch that. Brooks, Bryson. I told you Tom in the office before. Like I thought Tom Brady, his commentary, some of his like one-liners and some of his because he's got such a dry sense of humor,
dude,
but it's just
right?
he says it, doesn't crack a smile. It's just like he's honestly gets out of New England one of like the best trolls going. Like
right.
it's awesome.
I would like to know how much of Brooks and Bryson is real.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that they may be hamming this up a little bit because it's a little bit too far-fetched for golf.
Right.
But, like, this is just my mind thinking, like, golf is boring as all hell.
Right.
And they need the young stars, like, to shine with no Tiger, no big draws.
Right.
Something like this, I sometimes feel like it's a little bit too far-fetched for them to hate each other that much for I don't even know what reason, and it just keeps getting bigger. So I don't know if that's anything to go on, but that's one of my theories, that they actually don't hate each other that much. They are playing. It's like trash talk in a UFC fight.
Yeah, so I think they're taking a page right out of the OWE.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Bryson is Kevin Chuff, and Brooks is the masked man.
Brooks is the masked man.
So Brooks,
Wow.
yeah.
So
Brooks
is
is
the
always.
masked man, or are you the masked man?
Who's the masked man here, bud? Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
a
don't
bud.
know. Now I don't know. Yeah, don't be budding me. You guys have been getting away from it. I heard a couple pals slipping in there. I said,
Pal.
you guys in your your terms of endearment are
Phenomenal.
you use them a lot.
I refer to everyone as pal because when I'm with Kyle doing like the travel baseball, our thing is Paul. We call people Paul.
All right.
Yeah. So it just kind of weaves its way into the podcast. That I can't help it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's nowhere near as bad as the beginning buds. You guys are just bud happy.
Nothing as good as
But you're
Boris
now
and
finding
as you know.
you're now finding your own. I don't have many critiques except that I still don't see any new like ideas coming to the podcast. No comical little breaks in anything. But besides that, you're really hitting your stride.
We
And
should. I want to start
shout-
filming commercials.
Shout out to Noah for still pulling out the Suns.
The Suns.
Yeah,
1-0.
dude.
Great call. I was just
That
talking
was-
to him about that the other day
that
too.
was
I was like, bro, you
First
called
round.
it.
I mean,
You
when
tell
he-
him we
he
talk
called
about
that-
it in every podcast
Yeah.
after. Like we give you a shout out because you are dead on. They're probably going to win. It
Su-
looks like they're going to win.
Superior Trophies right down the street here. We should go get them something made up.
We
should. That'd
We
be
should.
cool.
Does he still listen to the podcast or no?
Yeah.
Probably. Oh,
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah, he
right.
does.
So it wouldn't be a surprise. I'll clip this part so it could be a surprise.
Yeah, clip it so it's a surprise. Use your
Okay.
technical ability. You'll probably end up editing it out half of this conversation, but we'll go with it.
I'm cool with it. It's all right.
No, it's all right, man. No,
way.
never.
No way.
All right. Well, I think I'm about the end of my journey here.
No,
All right.
I got the new segment
What?
though. I want you. I don't know if you'll be able to answer, but I got a new thing. Chooping it up trivia.
Okay.
I have a question.
I like
I'm gonna ask. It's a pro sports question. I'm gonna put it out on social media. Try to get some feedback from the people, the listeners, and I'm gonna ask Matt and Tom not to give me an answer. So you as well. You could text me your answers if you have it. So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you the question.
Okay.
All right.
Do not answer it. We will answer it at the end of the podcast. Runks, you could text me.
All right.
2006.
Okay.
All right.
The Miami Heat won the NBA championship.
Yeah.
That team featured Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal,
Right.
future Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade.
Right.
That team also featured two other Hall of Famers.
I know them.
Okay.
Hold your answer. We'll come back to it at the end of the podcast.
I got
Is
one
it
for
Luke
sure.
Longley? Because I don't know who it is.
No,
I
no,
know.
yep. So if you're
I
still
got
in
one,
traffic,
but
you could look it up online, Runks. You can look it up online and then text me the answer.
I can't.
I'm actually going to
It's
put
not.
it.
It's not Luke Longley though.
It is not Luke Longley.
All right.
All right.
Well, then I'm out of guesses, so I'm not even gonna text you, and I don't really.
All right.
I
Well,
think this is a great idea, but I don't know this one.
okay. Tune in to the end of the show to find it, or I mean, I'm going to post it on social media. So if you want to give our Instagram, Facebook post some engagement and just post Luke Longley, that'll be appreciated.
So if I get this right,
I'll
you
add
have to
him.
jump
I'll add
in
him,
the pool,
and
right?
maybe he'll. I'll add him, and maybe he'll join the podcast. That'd be a great guest.
That would be a great
That
guest.
would be. Yeah. I like it.
Is he alive?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
We're going to find out when you add him.
All right, well, I'm going to add him, so that's that. Well, anyway, this comes to the end of Runko's report card. Stop
Jonathan.
down at G&M Snack Bar for a Thunderbird. And check out Chooping It Up Sports on Instagram.
We appreciate
You're
it.
the
Choop
best.
Sports. It's a
You're the best, Ron.
Firebird, and you are the best.
What the hell's a Thunderbird then? I thought it was a Thunderbird.
See you, Jonathan.
I think it was Hooper's car.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what that was. All right, fellas. Have a good one.
Later.
That's it, pal. Thank you.
Bye.
Slipped in another pal there.
Wow.
So are you real confident?
Yes.
I know one for sure.
The one for sure is easy. It's the other one that I thought would be.
Do you know the other one? Do you know both?
I feel like I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will revisit this at
All
the
right.
end.
Okay.
Matt he's just gonna.
I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
He's just gonna say it just randomly in the pocket. It's gonna eat him up.
It's kind of eating me up right now, but I can
It's
control
all right.
myself.
It's all right.
So since we're on the basketball topic,
Did you catch a fly there?
big time in basketball right now, the NBA Finals. No, I wish.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were doing.
No, NBA Finals is finally here. You have the two final teams, East-West, the best from the West, the Beast from the East. Bucks versus Suns. First game was last night. I'm pretty sure you guys watched. I would hope so.
Absolutely.
I did.
What are your guys' thoughts?
One.
Bucks are in trouble.
First stop.
I totally agree with you.
100%. I mean, did you see? So Smart. Love the fact that the Suns are like, Jay Crowder, you're on Giannis. Love it.
They didn't start with him on him, though.
Okay, when I turned it on, I didn't turn it on right at the beginning. When I turned it on probably close to halftime, he was on
That's
him.
when they made the switch. And they
He
put
was like-
physicality against physicality.
He was like, you're at the three-point line? I'm going to give you 6 feet
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
Drive at me.
Right.
Come on.
What I think the thing I got the most from the game, it's refreshing to see the Suns are probably going to win this title,
Yes.
and they don't
Yes.
have a big three.
No.
No.
You know what I mean?
This is like-
They're
yeah.
playing phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from Booker. I'm not
Team
taking
ball.
anything from
No.
Chris Paul, but they are playing outstanding team basketball.
And this is the first time since 2010 that two of the leading scorers have been with their teams their entire time. Like it was the Celtics and Lakers in 2010. It was Paul Pierce and Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Now the two leading scorers in this one is Devin Booker for the Suns and Giannis for
Yeah.
the Bucks.
Yeah, and you can't take anything away, because there's even part of me like it's eaten at me that some people might come out and say, well, it's a COVID season and it was it's not a regular, and dismiss what the Suns are doing. But you went through LeBron and AD.
Right.
Yeah.
You went through. You got the Clippers.
Right.
Who'd they have in the second round?
I think it was.
Was it?
Did they have the Jazz?
I was gonna say Jazz. Yeah. Utah.
No, the Jazz were
wasn't
the
Utah.
1 seed.
Oh, no. They had
The Suns were 2.
They had the Clippers.
It was Lakers, Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, and there was one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But they had to play somebody else. You're right.
Yeah.
Can't think of it right
It
now.
wasn't Denver, was it?
No,
Denver or
who'd they get?
Portland?
Oh, it might have been. Might have been Denver.
Oh, it was Denver.
Denver.
Because that's
Okay.
when Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So they went through.
Solid teams.
Right.
Right,
They
Denver-
didn't dodge anybody
Denver had the best record.
in the draw.
Right.
The Lakers were coasting until the playoffs.
Right.
And then the Clippers, we talked about it last week, Paul George was just
On
hitting his
fire.
stride. Yeah.
He was on fire.
Yeah. It
Yep.
wasn't like it was Indiana Pacers plus then some, Paul George. So no, they win this. This is legit. Like
I mean, the biggest thing I took was Chris Paul didn't score a point in the first quarter at all.
I saw that.
Ended up with, I think, 31, 34, something like that.
27 by the end of the third.
Yeah.
You had 11 in the second, 16 in the third.
His ability to, like, feel the game and just, like, get everybody involved and know when to get his, I just think is unmatched. Like, he is a true definition of a point guard, of, like, being able to get everybody going and then realizing, okay, now it's time for me to go and get mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's a great. And Ayton, I think, is one of the best big men in the game right now.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. Like, that's, like, their big three is Chris Paul, an older Chris Paul, again, 36 years old, mid-30s. Like, he's not in his – he's playing very, very well. He's not in his prime. He's not in his physical prime.
I think his prime might have been with the Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin Booker is – I love the fact that Devin Booker this year, all-star snub, literally is just ascending. Like, he's going to come in I'd probably put him –
He's going to be the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I'd put him – where do you put him in players in the NBA? Top 10?
See, that's
I
even
don't know.
tough.
That's tough right now.
And I love the kid. I don't know if
I
you
would
could
put him in the top 10 of under 24 or under 25, I think.
I
He's in the
think
top
you could put
5
him in
of
the top
that.
10 of playing right now,
Yeah,
currently
right.
right now, but in the moment.
But in the
I don't
league right
know.
now,
Yeah.
you're going to put him over Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, Luka Doncic, Giannis, LeBron, AD. That's 6 right there off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's tough.
I mean,
Kawhi Leonard, Paul George.
I put him over Paul George.
You put him over Paul? Would you
I
put
put-
him over Jokic?
I like
Jokic averaged a triple-double. You're going to put him over him?
No, I said I like Jokic, but I think See, I'd be curious to see if Chris Paul retires or there's talks where he might go elsewhere. I think he'd be dumb to go elsewhere. He's tied to the Knicks, but like, I need to see how Devin Booker now does after Chris Paul leaves.
Yeah.
Like, can he be the guy?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't before Chris Paul. Maybe he just needed Chris
I like
Paul.
that statement.
I can be honest, Chris Paul could be in here for a while.
I mean, the way he's going
I'm on record that that episode with Noah when he mentioned the Suns of saying I thought the Suns were still shy of a few more pieces to be able to do what they're doing.
Yeah, right.
I thought they were going past the Lakers, be happy with that, and continue to build forward toward a trajectory of where they're at right now. But I didn't think it was happening this fast. And Chris Paul, he's still got mileage in him, especially eventually he's going to be that guy off the bench.
Yeah,
and just be that veteran
leader.
I
think he'd be okay with that. I think he would be.
Especially if he wins his finals.
Right. Why wouldn't he want to come off the bench, give you so many minutes?
Go pick up a young, dynamic point guard to carry the heavy minutes, and he may still finish a game like Derrick Rose is doing.
He could be that guy almost.
Who?
The Alfred Payton or whoever. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's quick. I don't know if he can be like the guy.
Right.
But I like him.
But with him, we talked about I feel like the Mavs last week because Jason Kidd. I wouldn't say he's Jason Kidd. I feel like he's definitely doing much better than he's more of a contributor scoring wise than Jason Kidd was when they went on the finals. But in 2 years, 3 years, Chris Paul could be the Jason Kidd of a championship team. You know what I mean? Just facilitate, see the court, get the young guys. But Bridges is also he's like an underrated piece. I feel like for the Suns, he's having just a good season as a role player. Like he does his role.
Phenomenal player. He knows his role.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He just knows his role. He doesn't try to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
goes out there.
And then Jay Crowder too. Another.
I think what guys don't understand in today is just buying into your role. Whether you're the guy on the bench throwing people water bottles and towels, or you're coming off the seventh man, giving those couple minutes to spare those guys. It's all about knowing your role. You're not going to be the star player. It's sad to say, but everybody wants to be that guy. Not everybody's going to be that guy. Can you buy into your role?
You're not that guy.
You're not that
You're
guy,
not
pal.
that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
No, and too, what I like about Chris Paul, you watch him, you see like a lot of clips, especially now because they're in the finals of him like on TikTok or social media, just things that he's done in the past, like his balance, right? He's not overly quick, right? He doesn't have he never did. Never had a quick first step, but his just balance and just like little movements to get a defender to do something, and like people are so scared of him, and it seems like defenders just kind of overreact to things that he does for how like just
minuscule
like,
it is.
It's not like he's Russell Westbrook, like he just can't get by it, but how he controls his body, he's always on balance, could always
he has
shoot.
the ball on the string too, that kind of helps.
He's fantastic. He is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we said it before, the Bucks, they seem like they're in big trouble. As much trouble as they're in, I have to give kudos to Giannis and his ability to come out there game one after almost tearing his whole shit up and still looking like a legit
I have no explanation
force.
for
like
what's
he was
going
a
on
force out there.
I said there's one guy that I watch on YouTube. He's like I forget what he does. I think he's a doctor, but he'll break down just like sports injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Brian Sutter or something. So he did Giannis, and he does them like immediately, like 2 hours after Giannis did it. And he's talking about the angle of the hyperextension. He's like, his he drew like the protractor type deal with the degrees. He's like, this is like there's no way that this is good. Like there's definitely some structural damage just based on the degree that his knee hyperextended. So for this guy to just come out, and honestly, just didn't look like anything was wrong. Like he looked just as athletic as normal, right? Had the bounce. Like he's got to be from another planet.
Crazy block,
got
LeBron-esque when he chased the guy down.
It's going to be interesting how far he can go on the knee through the series. And then what happens after the series is over?
Like, is he
how quick is he under the knife? Like, what's really going on there?
Like, this will be something I feel like that
this isn't a nothing injury.
No,
this will be something that gets reported after the fact, after the finals, especially if they lose. Oh, Giannis was playing with a torn ACL.
Yep.
I mean,
if it comes
playing
out
on a torn ACL, whatever, he looked phenomenal.
If it comes like finals lose, Bucks lose the finals, comes out that no reports on Giannis, would you be? As the athletic trainer, like, would you be shocked? Like, would you, if there's nothing, just
There's something wrong with his knee.
Like structurally, nothing wrong. Like, would you just be like, there's no, they're lying. They have to be lying.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, something's there.
Okay. Ronco talked about it briefly. The match. It's on in the background. You guys catch any of it?
I caught that tail end of it when it was, I think, Bryson and A-Rod were up like three holes or something like that.
Yeah.
And they had that one horrible hole where Phil was kind of talking about. The next hole was like a par 3.
Yeah.
And Phil was talking a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We're going to catch this one, and then I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but par 3, we might be able to get them there. And then
he's trying to really build up Brady.
Yeah.
Guys won 7 Super Bowls. I don't think you need to talk him up. He knows.
But, I mean, that kind of stuff is awesome because you have Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They're both big competitors. They hate to lose. Phil Mickelson, Bryson. I don't know how Bryson is.
I watched the first 2 holes yesterday and then the final 3 that they played, right? So before you guys got here, I was watching, I was trying to catch up. I don't know what hole it was, maybe 3 or 4 because I've only gotten through a couple holes. And
great setup you got here, by the way, in the
absolutely.
background.
My TV's fritzing out, though. It's kind of aggravating me, so I got to figure out what's going on there. But anyway,
bad Wi-Fi?
Yes, it probably is. They probably turned it off on me.
So we can never live stream here if you got bad Wi-Fi.
No, we're good. So, but there was a par 4, 392 yards. DeChambeau took a fairway wood and went 392, right? And then to make matters worse, Tom Brady drove the green, 392.
No, they were playing from different tees, Aaron Rodgers, because there was one par 5 that. And maybe it wasn't all of them, but there was one par 5 that Bryson and Phil were playing. It was 633.
Then they did a hell of an editing job
for Rodgers, and maybe it was just that hole for Rodgers, and it was still 595, which is like.
So
I don't know,
but
it just proves why they're pro golfers and everybody else isn't.
But like Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady, like they were good.
Yeah, they're good.
Like
they're
good. But I like just some of the banter, like. I just saw some clips on like Instagram. Adam Schefter was posting like Charles Barkley because they had the earpieces in where you could talk to them. Like the broadcasters were talking to him. Aaron Rodgers is driving to a hole. Might have been before they started. And Chuck's like, Barkley's like, yeah, you could tell me. I won't tell anyone. Don't worry. He's like, Chuck, I know. He's like, I'll tell you. I'll tell you Tahoe. I'll tell you in Tahoe.
Yeah.
But like the fact that this dude is going through like. Don't know if you're playing for the Packers, retiring, playing for another team. You don't want to be there in the middle of that. You're like, yep, I'm going to play golf with Tom Brady, Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson. I'm just going to enjoy life. Like
you heard Charles Barkley say he doesn't look Tom Brady in the eyes?
Yes.
Yep. I've learned it a long time ago. I don't look him in the eyes. That man's too beautiful. He's going. Tom's like, only my wife can talk to me like that. You're making me blush.
Did you see when he was on the phone with Gronk on the green?
No.
Dude, I only saw a clip, so I guess, who'd he call it? Did Gronk call Rodgers lazy or Brady?
Lazy. Rodgers.
Okay, but he was on the phone. So Brady was talking to Gronk on the green, and they were talking about training camp. And he's like, oh, Tom, he's like, I've been doing a great job. He's like, I've been catching passes. He's like, you're not there to throw them to me. He's like, but I'm doing my research. I'm 30 yards away from the Packers. Well, maybe the Packers quarterback. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is so funny. He's so funny, but, oh, God. It was great. As a Packers fan, didn't get really any answers about Rodgers.
Yeah, he's smart about it.
Zero answers. I'm good with whatever he does, man. He doesn't want to play. It's Packers. It's their fault. Me as the GM, would have never happened. I'd be playing right there next to Rodgers. You want to go out with me? No,
I can run some routes.
Yeah. Go. Listen, I might have been compared to CeeDee Lamb back in my day by myself, but and not in a great way, in a bad way.
Oh God.
Yeah. We ready for our guest?
I believe so. I think it's your build-up, though.
It is my build-up.
Do you want to? So do you want to have him call? You want to send him the number?
I'll have him. Yeah, I'll text him right now your cell phone number and
so
tell him to call when he's ready.
Yeah. So I'm not doing anything. Like, is he good? Like, is he ready to go? Or
yeah. He's texted me about 8:00 and said he's ready whenever we are.
Okay.
That he's settled in now.
Yeah. So I know nothing about this person, so I'm interested to learn because what you told the little.
Should I give my intro now?
The little.
Or should I give my intro when he's on the phone?
As it's ringing. Yeah. That's.
There's a lot of cover though. Well, I'll wait until he gets on.
There's a lot.
All right. Well, someone want to hit answer. I'm gonna step away.
What are you gonna do? Hit a phone go?
Yeah, while you're at it, grab me another Las Cerveza sub, bud.
Yeah, all right. Same thing?
Hurry up. So what are we doing? We're just hitting. All right.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. I'm pretty excited about this guest there, Matthew.
Yeah, I know you are. You seem it. I'm kind of excited too.
I think
I'm
he's
excited to hear some like the
he's
old.
gonna have a lot to say.
A lot of war stories.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of interesting things this guy's done. And like I said, he hung out with my little brother. You know Johnny McGloin. He graduated with Johnny.
Yeah.
Played with him.
Oh, he's a West Side guy.
Yeah, he's a West Side guy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He grew up same neighborhood. We played wiffle ball when we were 8, 6, 7 years old, and
oh, awesome.
He ends up doing everything he's doing, and it blows my mind even to this day that he did it. Because he's always just that little knucklehead, you know.
Like you were saying about Miranda, like
right.
Like I can't. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What's this? I don't need that.
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be selfish and not bring one over for you.
Oh, I'm not soft, but thank you.
Maybe you're a little dehydrated. I don't know.
That's why you brought me this, so I can hydrate.
All right, so I heard you giving your spiel about the guest. I figured by the time I'd come back from the walk to the fridge, he'd be on, and I would just be like, "Hey, man."
He'll call. He'll call. He'll be quick to the.
Is this a great? I mean, this could be a great plug for.
For what?
Podcast sponsor.
Oh, G&M's.
Honestly, now big. I mean, I told you before, Tom.
I'll tell you what.
Grasso,
he can make a sandwich, but he cannot putt.
He now.
Oh wow, that's right.
Wait, what?
We were out on what was it? Sunday.
Sunday
with the sponsor.
Can
Dolphin.
make a sandwich, but cannot putt at all.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
It was his tea time. In fairness.
Oh, okay.
And I only had one slot to fill because his son came out with us.
Okay, so you bring Matt. Great.
And he already saw your performance, so
yeah.
Sure, I don't blame you actually at that point. I don't blame you.
It was hilarious.
You don't want to look like, you don't want to be like, all right, Tom, you brought this guy. Really, I got you.
If we could just tell you I think it was hole 12 when he lit up his son.
Do you want me to help you or not?
It was awesome.
Oh man, I had to walk away.
He's
you find your ball yet?
Yeah.
Officially a follower of the Facebook page.
Yeah,
this morning
Hooper told
I got
me that before.
Yeah. I actually want to run this before our guest calls while we're waiting for him. I feel like I kind of want to record like a commercial, like a commercial for him.
Let's do it.
That we could run during
the show.
Yeah.
Like you want to put this on TV?
No, not on TV, but it could be like a break. Like so when
I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
No.
We're gonna sell it to the next match.
If
TNT will pick it up.
if he likes it enough and he wants to pay the money to get it on local TV, that's on him. No, am I trying to do that? No.
We couldn't even get him on WVIA.
Up.
There he is.
Go ahead. Give your introduction.
Is that my guy, Ev?
Hey, Tom.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I got my two guys here with me, Stephen Hooper and Matt Tanner, two Mid-Valley guys that we're podcasting here. We're chooping it up.
Ev, nice to meet you via cell phone.
Yeah, via cell phone. I like that.
How we doing, my man?
So, we're doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Thank you for asking.
So I'm trying to tell these guys a little bit about you here and I'm going to try to give you justice on your introduction here, but
all right.
Class of 2002.
Well, just remember,
what's that?
Believe half of what Tommy said.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on. There's not. I don't have enough time to put in all your accolades. So we got.
That's because it's a 60-second show.
You're the best. You're the best. So 2002 West Scranton graduate, right?
Correct. Yeah.
We're the 2001 Defensive All-Region Player of the Year in high school.
Okay.
As a defensive back. Went on to East Strasburg. Played for the Warriors, class of 2007.
Correct, yeah. 5 years, redshirt plan.
Redshirt year. You were inducted into the East Strasburg Hall of Fame in 2017.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Right? Two-time AP Little All-American, first team as a wideout and all-purpose player.
Okay.
This PSAC career record of over 4,000 receiving yards and 50 touchdowns. You still hold that?
I believe that was broken.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You what was it?
You're
Your
by Mike Washington out of Westchester.
okay.
He was a really, really talented wide receiver from Philadelphia area.
And then you guys won the Division II Northeast Region title. What, your junior year? Advanced to the national semifinal?
That was my junior year, the 2005 season, and we went to the national semifinals.
Okay.
We got blasted by Grand Valley State.
Right. Okay. I remember that now. And then you got your dip in the NFL pool with the New York Jets, right?
Yes.
But your first was, if I'm right here, it's been a little while, undrafted free agent signing with the Arizona Cardinals, right? First?
Okay. Correct. Yeah, I was in Arizona.
Wow.
I was with the Cardinals for approximately a month.
You got with Larry Fitzgerald and Leinart and those boys, right?
Fitzgerald, Bolden.
Anquan Bolden.
Very talented receiver pool at that time. Great people, too.
So how the heck did you not make the roster as a wideout with Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald?
Was Steve Breston there at that time, too?
Steve Breston was there. He was a rookie.
Yeah, he was from Michigan, right?
Yep.
Michigan, yep, from Western PA.
Okay.
They had an extremely talented receiver corps that time. They had Michael Spurlock went on to Tampa Bay. He got cut by the Cardinals, went on to Tampa Bay. And I think he set some type of record for longest kick return in Bucs history, or first kick return in so long. But they had that was a deep group there. You know, they were all very talented and well deserving of everything they've achieved. You know.
Yeah, nice. So then from Arizona, was there anybody in between Arizona and the Jets then?
No, there wasn't. I was home for about. I was actually home for about 10 days. I was contemplating my future. I actually interviewed for a few teaching positions. Up in the Pocono area, Stroudsburg area.
Okay.
And so I was back working part-time up at Leahy Family Fun Park, trying to figure out what my my next step in life was going to be. And I actually had I got called for a tryout with the Jets, and I think that was a Thursday night, and I even had a tryout with the New York Dragons, the arena football team.
The New York Dragons.
The next day, just in case things didn't work out with the Jets, and luckily, things worked out, in my favor. I didn't have to attend that arena football tryout, and I signed with them after the workout.
Nice, yeah.
I just want to throw this out here. I would have definitely locked you down.
What's that?
I would have definitely locked you down.
Not a chance.
Lockdown?
Yeah, locked down, bud.
CB?
You know Revis Island? You know Revis
Tanner
Island?
Island.
That's Tanner Island. That's right, bud.
So then,
Just for the record, you would have burned me. You would have got me for sure. Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. You're now a health PE teacher at the Riverside School District, right?
Oh, okay.
Correct. I've been there 13 years, 14.
I was going to say, you're there quite a while.
08, yeah.
You've been coaching.
I spent some time at Pocono Mountain East. I actually worked up there. I was a teacher there for approximately 2 months as a long-term sub. And that's when I got the call with the Jets to go back for the practice squad, so I had to resign from that position. But I did spend roughly about 2 months up there, up at Pocono Mountain.
Wow.
Okay, nice. And then I know you had a head coaching stint for the Vikings there at Riverside.
Correct, yeah, 2011 to 2013.
Right, and then you were most recently at you and I's alma mater over at West Granton under Coach Fahey as the OC, right?
Yeah, I started off just as the receivers coach, working some special teams. And then, a couple years into it, I landed that gig. And I think our last year was 19. I think last year would have been the 2020 season. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right.
Our final year was 19.
Right. And then you've been coaching on and off with track, right? Now you're in a track official?
Yeah. I'm dabbing into the official pool now. But, I did coach track, I want to say, from Riverside 08 to 18 maybe, roughly about 10 years. A couple years as an assistant, a couple years as a head coach. Had some time off, and then this past year I started officiating the meets, which I found to be actually very enjoyable, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think I missed anything in the, just that little stuff that you've done with your life, right? Did I?
the biggest part of my life.
What's that?
Wow.
The father part in about 2.5 months. My
That's
wife
right.
is pregnant. We're expecting our first child.
Congratulations.
Congrats, buddy. When's the baby due?
October 23rd.
Oh, you got to pull an October 2nd birthday, bud.
That's your date?
That's my date. Don't go to 5th because that's
right?
Chris's. Yeah, don't go near that one.
I'll go closer to yours than his.
Exactly. His is way bad luck. You know that.
You know?
That's awesome. Congratulations.
A lot of people we know. Thank you. There's a lot of people that say they have a birthday in October. I've never met so many people that have been born in October.
I'm going to be honest. I know about 3 or 4 people on my birthday.
Yeah,
on your birthday?
Yeah. I ended up knowing the kid. He graduated from prep. Chris Warner, his name was. Richie Bailey's cousin. He's an Invader alum. Him and I were born. Well, we were in the same room out of the CMC that particular year. Richie Bailey, his cousin, was October 2nd the year before.
That's incredible.
A couple other guys. Another guy graduated was October 2nd. So, yeah, a lot of October babies. It's what happens when it's cold in February, you know?
That's it. That's what we say. Do the math.
Valentine's Day's rocking.
Valentine's Day. That's it, you know? So, that's it.
So is boy or girl expecting? Do you know?
Girl.
Girl, okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
Nice.
You looking at the name Sienna.
Sienna.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Nice.
Sienna Prall. Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. Enjoy it.
So
It
I
flies.
appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, well, these past 6 months have flown by already, and we still have a lot of work to do down here in the nursery.
How's your wife feeling?
Some days it's good. Some days she gets nauseous still. I mean, it's, you know, like any pregnancy. I mean, this is my first one, but it's funny. I teach sexual education down at the high school, and I teach about pregnancy, and I've never had any experiences. My sister doesn't have any children. I don't have any, close relatives that have been pregnant. So, everything that I teach, I'm actually now getting a chance to see it firsthand.
Right. Now you got the case study.
Yeah, so now it's going to be, when you go back in, you're really going to be able to teach the hell out of this.
Correct, you know?
There's certainly going to be days when you walk into that classroom and you really stress prevention. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what else is going on these days?
Not much. To be honest, the last couple of weeks I've been spending some time. I've been volunteering up at North Pocono with Greg Dolan, helping out with the wide receivers a little bit.
Okay.
Nice.
So, I've been keeping my feet wet in the game a little bit there.
How they looking?
Enjoy it. So, to be honest, it's an odd way to get back into it, just because of the COVID situation.
Right.
Supposedly, I mean, each school has handled things differently. You hear so many rumors out there about the way this school's handling it or that school's handling it, and I mean, it's just not. I mean, you don't know until you really get in it. And when I got up there, I found out that the kids weren't, unless you were playing a sport or if you were in that sport, you were able to participate in that sport and that sport only.
Yep.
Just because they wanted to keep close contacts and unnecessary,
right.
Contact away. So.
Right.
They didn't really have much going on with the weight room, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's tough.
When I got up there, we got, Coach Dolan said they're going to get a little started a little bit earlier this year, just because they didn't have the chance to really, get involved like in years past.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that a lot of schools have been handling it like that. I mean, the COVID situation. Hopefully, it seems like we're rounding third base. We're getting there, and hopefully, by the time the fall season comes around, we're knocking on wood, we're in pretty good,
somewhat
pretty good
normal
position with that. Correct. Yeah.
Right.
We hope so.
Nice.
But it's exciting. I mean, I enjoy it. I said last year was odd because it was my first year with 30 years of not being on a football field in the fall.
That's
One way or
insane.
another,
Wow.
Coaching, playing, and
We're getting old when you could say that, man.
Yeah, brother. I'm 37 now, so I started when I was 7 years old.
Old ass.
And,
West Side Jets.
West Side Jets, yes. Walking up Acker Ave.
That's
Yep. Right down the street from your house.
Cloverfield.
Yep, Cloverfield. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting to get back out there. I mean, personally, it's in my blood. I enjoy it. I love trying to help children and kids, get better, foster, and more importantly, become better men.
Absolutely.
It's the most important part. I have a question for you before we get too on topic, because based on that introduction, you've done a lot athletically that I'm sure we're going to talk about. But I also heard before you called in, you had to come back from getting ice cream. So as an ice cream connoisseur, I'm just kind of curious what the go-to is. Where'd you go? What was the go-to? That's just my question right now.
We have many. Listen, over in my neck of the woods here, and I live in Taylor on the border of Scranton,
Okay.
Dade Park, but there's many great ice cream areas over here. You know, actually, I was with my father earlier today. We had to, you know, stop down the store. So we went over to, we were in the area of Jitty Joe's, so we stopped over there.
Gotta hit Jitty Joe.
Gotta.
Yeah, they had a nice little special today, banana cream special, flurry. So I had to dabble in that. And then came home, we had dinner. My wife wanted some Mannings. So, you know, I
Can't
went with
beat
her to
Mannings either.
So you
Cannot
did
beat Mannings.
2 ice cream trips today.
I made 2 trips, but I only had 1.
You might have to run.
Metabolism is slowing down.
You're going to start looking like all of the rest of us on the athletics.
You might have to run some routes tomorrow just to burn one of those off.
Show the kids how it's done.
My friends, they bust me about it, but a couple of weeks ago I ended up getting the Apple Watch just to track calories and whatnot. And being, you know, in the gym, walking around, I love it because it gives me an idea of how much exercise I've gotten throughout the day. And I'm not lying. When I'm down here late at night, when I'm done with everything, if I got to get, according to my standards, another 10 minutes in, I'll just go walk the neighborhood for 10 minutes.
Yep.
I'll burn another 200 calories.
Nice.
Like, it's great. So anyone I walk into at the gym or anyone I see that I haven't seen in a while, I tell them, I'm like, listen, the Apple Watch or Fitbit, anything like that, that's the way to go nowadays. I love it.
He hasn't changed.
They can really pack on the calories.
This guy has not stopped moving since I met him when he started hanging around my brother in the neighborhood. Does not stop.
If you know me, I think you're going to find this to be true. Each time my wife and I have gone through an ultrasound, the practitioner or the nurse, they keep saying that the baby will not stop moving in there. So I said that it is following after me to a T right now.
Yeah, you could at least you could guarantee it's not the mailman then.
Guaranteed, I'm sure.
Well, that's not mailman anymore. It would be like the FedEx guy.
Amazon. Yeah, UPS, FedEx. It is.
Yeah.
But Ev, so going back to your high school days, right?
Yes.
My guy here, Matthew Tanner, is familiar with your old quarterback, Johnny McGloin.
Yeah.
Right? So you playing
football.
Yeah.
I played flag against
Yes, he
Tanner. We had a
does.
good time.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all
he
right.
does, yeah.
So wait a minute. So did you lock him up or no?
We
You
were on
didn't
the
lock
same
him.
team.
Oh, you lucky. You got
No,
bailed
but
out.
he had a couple catches, but he was on the other side because he knew better to come to my side.
Yeah, that's right. Game scouting, game film.
So what did you play offensively at West? What position were you at? Were you at wideout or were you at
I was
tailback?
at wide receiver. I played wide receiver. Yeah.
Okay.
Tommy, I followed in your shoes, brother. You
That's
know?
right. That's right.
I'm a freshman. Tommy's a senior.
Yep.
Like,
Wide
I want to be
receiver,
like that guy.
Track runner, hurdler.
Yep. That's
I
when
ended up doing the exact same thing.
That's
you
when
know?
I tried to take you under my wing was track season that year.
You gave me a ride home every
Every
after
day.
track practice.
Every
That
day.
old,
Good
the-
senior
what,
leadership
the
of you,
baby
Tom.
blue-
Yeah, so I pretty
Baby
much
blue
molded him
vehicle?
into an NFL football player.
Correct.
Way to
All
pat
the
yourself on the back.
I'm going to
Yeah.
take that credit.
Yeah, you're like someone else in here.
But you know what really blows my mind is when you fast forwarded through your career, you went down to East Stroudsburg, and then naturally getting your opportunity playing professionally in the NFL as a wideout. You played wideout in high school, and I was looking at something, pulling up some things before when I knew you were going to call in, and Joby ran a thing where he broke down kind of historically all the teams in the Lackawanna Football Conference a couple of years ago. And when it got to 1,000-yard receivers at West Scranton, or I think he did like a 70-plus receptions at West Scranton, there's no Evan Prall. It wasn't even a kid before 2005, because back when we had Evan there, right. You have John as a quarterback, and we were still a 3 yards in a cloud of dust football school. You know,
Really,
it blows my mind. Like you look at, I think there was who was on that list. I want to say Josh Schroeder,
Probably,
Ethan Dunn.
Probably was Passeri on there?
I don't know if he went 1,000, but you couldn't even hold. These guys couldn't even hold a candle to Ev. But
well, the game has changed a lot over the last.
Right.
Like you said earlier, we're getting old. I mean,
Yep.
my first year was in the my sophomore season was in the 90s. Believe it or not, it was 99. So the game has changed drastically since then. You know?
yeah. Now, did you start as a sophomore? Because you're like you said, you were a sophomore. I was in my freshman year out at Indiana.
I split time. I spotted in wide receiver, cornerback. That was when we used to have the receivers bring in the plays
Right.
every other play. So I'd bring a play in, go out, bring the play in next, go out while the other receiver came in.
So it was even at a point they took you out of the game.
I guess, you know.
How did?
But no, we had a good time in high school. You know, we had some pretty good teams. You know, we were over 500 every year, so that's something to be proud of. You know, made the playoffs twice. You know, won a couple league titles. So you know, we had some great people around us.
Absolutely.
Great coaches. Had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, Mush was awesome. I loved them. What? You got to give me one good, somewhat semi-appropriate story to embarrass my brother during your playing days at any point that I don't know about.
They couldn't find a helmet big enough to fit his fat head. Your brother has one of the biggest heads, and it's no secret.
Had like a mailbox.
His head is enormous, and
I feel like I got to see a picture of your brother now.
Just to find a helmet to fit his head.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Tom, as an athletic director, right? If you have a kid with a giant melon, like what are you thinking here? If you have to find a helmet for your brother, like what do you?
Grab a tuba.
Well, that's the truth.
Grab a
tuba. Guys, I mean, Coach Stewart has got a great relationship with all the coaches around here at Lackawanna. He does a great job over there. And I know a couple years ago, I can't remember exactly what the year was.
Yeah.
He was reaching out to some of the local high schools. I don't know if they reached out to you up there at Mid-Valley, Tom.
They did. I remember this now.
A triple X.
Yeah.
A triple
X?
Helmet.
Yeah.
Found a triple X in the area. Yep.
A helmet?
They could not find a triple X helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, those are like special order.
Wow.
Like they were just calling around asking if they were going to buy it off you, everything, if they could just find one just to put on some kid's dome over there.
Right.
Yeah.
If you got that call, would you be like, all right,
I'd have sold it to him.
Premium though, like upcharge, upsell?
Yeah.
Ev, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I kind of heard the whole spiel of your football career and whatnot. And my biggest question, I guess, right now is what was your motivation? Like, what drove you to be so good and what kind of got you to that level, you know?
That's a pretty solid question. I like that question because, you know, being an educator, being a coach, you know, I try to motivate the kids as best as I can. And, you know, sometimes you got to do it differently. You know, each kid's different. And, you know, sometimes, you know, they need some extrinsic motivation. They get internal motivation with themselves. But to be honest with you, I mean, I'll attest to this. When we were young kids, I mean, Tommy lived right down the street from me, but almost every day in the summer, you know, we always were outside playing football in the street, wiffle ball. We were playing some type of activity on the street, and like we were just competing every day, like with our friends. Right. There was about a dozen of us. You know?
Crabapple fights in Hogan's Yard, remember? Through the woods?
Yeah, with Ryan
oh, yeah, we're smoking people in the head with crab apples.
And, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you'll hear about kids having crabapple fights nowadays, but those were real things, you know. I mean, we're in the woods just running around.
Crab apples exploding off heads.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you know, like, you know, Hogan, Markey, Gretchen, Murray, you know, like Nelson, all of us.
Yeah.
But I think just playing like that as a kid, like, you know, like you're competing every day. So, like,
right.
You know, like, it's just I contribute a lot of it just to competition at a young age. And then, like, you grow. Like, that's who you are. You're 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. You learn how to compete at a young age. So then as you get older, like, it's internal. Like, it just becomes natural, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, every time I didn't want to let anyone down, like, you know, on the field. I always wanted to do my job. So, like, you know, I want to make sure I can do that to the best of my ability. And I always bought into what my coaches say. You know, they say, get in the weight room for an hour, so I'm in the weight room for an hour, you know, go a little bit longer, you know. They want you to run, they want you to do extra conditioning. I just listened and did what I was told to do. You know, I didn't question anything. And I was very fortunate nowadays. Back then, like, I had a great household. My parents were very supportive. I'd go home, and we didn't really have like the social media and like the personal training and the personal coaches nowadays. I think that really, and I think Tommy will attest to this. Like, sometimes that can be a detrimental to a kid because you got so many, like, there's so many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
Instead of having one cook.
I like that phrase.
Like, it is. It's the truth. Like, it's a challenge nowadays at times. And don't get me wrong, it could also be a good thing. But like, I got a personal trainer. This guy's telling me to do this. This guy's telling me to do that. We're not saying they're wrong with that, but like sometimes that doesn't fit into what your scheme is.
Right. Yeah.
So ultimately, it's doing a disservice to the kid. Like, they're actually being hurt by it. And in the era we grew up, we didn't have any of that. Like, we just went to school. We had our 5 football coaches, or what was it, 2 or 3 basketball coaches, and that was it. And we just pushed each other.
Right.
And and I mean, like, nowadays too, there's YouTube and there's the internet. There's all these resources that anyone could just pick up and say, oh, I read a book on this, or like
yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think kids can get lost in that at times.
Right.
And the simplest thing is like, just listen to the people that have been around it the longest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, just piggybacking off of what you just said. I'm sure in your years of coaching, you've probably had a kid at some point, probably a younger kid, someone who's not 16, 17, they usually know better, that has probably said, oh, well, I saw such and such do it I watched a video and they did it this way. And it's like, all right, I see you day in and day out. Like, I'm telling you, this is what you need to work on. This is how I was taught. Like, I feel like, and it's just, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. But I'm going to say this. I guarantee every athletic program in the country has had that, whether it's
correct,
swimming, whether it's field hockey, whether it's basketball. I mean, that's the culture and that's our society that we're a part of nowadays.
Yeah.
And like I said, it doesn't mean that it's the wrong way, Sometimes, it can, interfere with what your system may be, I mean, particularly, think about it defensively, you could be teaching up a defense, well, my father said, we want to spill everything. Okay, well, you can spill in a 4-3. That's the way the defense is taught. But if you're playing in a 50 or an under, you want to box everything in. So, you like, it's just not always accurate to scheme and system and whatnot.
Yeah. So when you being more having some more accolades on the defensive side of the ball in high school, how did you end up down at East Stroudsburg? And where was the how did you get to the flip to the offensive side of the ball and where you had all that success in college?
I mean, to be honest, I was getting recruited offensively and defensively depending on the school.
Yeah.
And originally I actually had my heart set on going to Richmond in Virginia.
Okay.
At the time they were 1AA, what you would call FCS nowadays. And they played in the Atlantic 10. I don't even into nowadays. It might be the CAA maybe.
Right.
But I forget. But we went down there for a visit. Speaking to the coaches regularly, and unfortunately for me, when it came to test scores and whatnot, I wasn't the best test taker. I was an honor roll student. I was in the National Honor Society. I think I had like a 93 GPA.
Yeah.
But I just was not a good test taker, and academically, I just didn't meet their standards.
Okay.
Whereas, if you fast forward 20 years to today, with the NCAA, they had that sliding scale that accommodates for that. We just didn't have that then.
Right.
And, I mean, not all kids are best test takers. Some kids learn, I say it all the time. Some kids can learn by watching videos. Some kids can learn by reading a book. Others learn, by doing it. And, I think the SATs can have a negative effect on some of those people. And not making excuses, just trying to be, real about it. And, when I found out that, that wasn't an option for me anymore, East Stroudsburg was always in the back of my mind. My father worked with a man named Mike Mancuso. I don't know if you know Mike, but his son, Nick Mancuso, is a good wide receiver up at Lakeland right now. He's senior. But Mike played at East Stroudsburg in the mid-'90s. He broke actually many records up there as a wide receiver. And my father always had that connection at work with him. So we're like, all right, we'll take a look at East Stroudsburg. And went down there, fell in love with it. They were very fortunate to have health and physical education as a major. That was one of the two things I was looking at majoring while going to school. History being another one. I do like history. But, they were a wide open offense at the time, and, they recruited me offensively. So today, that's where you want me to play. That's where I'll play,
Nice.
Other schools, like I said, Westchester, PSAC school, big rival. They recruited me defensively. I just, I don't know. The way they evaluated us or myself, that's what they saw.
Okay.
Ev, did you have more of a preference, like defense or offense, or was it kind of like whatever they wanted me for, I'll
really.
do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever I felt I can get on the field earliest, and make a contribution.
Right.
And I guess East Stroudsburg offered me that opportunity offensively.
Okay.
And, to be honest, by the end there, I was kind of trying to get in the coach's ear to play a little nickelback, but to be honest, going from high school where you play both ways, I was a returner. I was on the field for I'd probably say more than 97% of all snaps. I wasn't on the field for punt return. Punt or kickoff. That was the only thing I don't think I was on the field for in high school.
Right.
So when I went to Stroudsburg, I'm like, I'm playing one way. How hard is this going to be? But, when you make the transition from high school to college, people find out quickly the speed of the game is significantly different, and it's a lot more challenging. And, I could be in the best condition, best shape of my life, but, there's no way I was going to be able to play two ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Ev, I got a question for you. Believe it or not, I mean, we've done this for 19 episodes. I'm not sure when I'm ever going to have the opportunity to talk about, like, pro sports. I mean, we just do this on Tom's deck, so I don't know if we're going to get another former pro athlete
We're over
on the
Memorial Stadium?
on the show.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, great scenery, great pool he's got back here, great deck, looks very well crafted. But what was the grind like, just day to day, being a pro athlete? Even if it was, I don't know how long you were with the Jets, but just day to day, I imagine it's your full time job, literally, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. whenever you get there to 7 at night. Got to be brutal. What was the day like, and mentally, how did you handle it?
That's a great question, and I think I could say this. It was probably one of the more difficult grinds of my life that I've ever had, but I did appreciate every second of it, to be honest. We were still in the time where, we're going doubles, and we went doubles as much as possible. Eric Mangini was the head coach at the time.
Okay.
Wow.
I had a lot of respect for Eric Mangini. Gave me an opportunity that not many other people did, and I respect him as a coach for that. But people say, like, he ran a difficult or physically grinding camp, and if that's the case, then so be it. I went through it, and we would have practice or I don't want to say practice, but we'd have film 7 a.m., 8 a.m. early in the morning. The rookies would have to report an hour early just to go over, basic stuff with the I played offense, so I'd be with the offensive quality control coach. Those guys are coaches that have ambitions of, they're like almost like a GA or a student assistant coach at the college level.
Okay.
But they're at the pro level that have ambitions of being a position coach in the NFL and then continuing to move up. So that individual will take us through, like, our plays, our errors, and then what we're doing later in the day for an hour. And then after that, you'd start with film. And during camp, there was literally an 8 a.m. to a 9 p.m. day, 12, 13 hours. We'd have practices under the lights. Sometimes we didn't even get out of the facility till about 10:30. I'm getting back to the room for bed check at 11, and we got 10 minutes before lights out. So, it was a grind. But I say this all the time. It's professional sports. I wouldn't expect it any other way. You're competing with the best people in the world. If you're in all seriousness, you're competing with the best people in the world. And, people are very fortunate where they're making millions of dollars for playing a game. And my outlook was, regardless of how much I'm making or anything like that, I'm treating it as a job. I'm going to do the best that I can. And they want me there at 6 a.m. I'm going to be there at 6 a.m. and I'm not going to complain or, cry about it. That's what my boss wants. That's what I'm going to do. And that was just my mindset. But,
Yeah.
Great
we went on
mindset.
that for a few weeks there, and it was a lot of fun. Throwing in a couple, activities he'd sprinkle in every once in a while. Just to break it up. One time we went to Chelsea Piers instead of practice. It's a indoor like batting cage, mini golf, soccer field, rock climbing, and the guys were broken up into squads.
Swing a mean fungo. I probably would have did well there.
So actually, I did. I worked at Leahy Family Fun Park for about 12 years.
That's right.
It's funny you say that. So I'm still relatively new to the guys. And, he broke it up by team name. Like you had Team Alpha, Team Bravo, Team Charlie, Team Lima. So he made it like Army themed, and the coaches were involved in it too. And the team I was on was with Brian Schottenheimer. He was our offensive coordinator at the time.
Holy crap!
And I'll never forget. We had like this rock climbing wall up there, and we had one at Leahy. So like I was on it all the time. And I'm like this rookie.
You're like
shine.
Spider-Man.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for.
Basically, it is. So like I'm there for like a couple of weeks, still trying to get to know people and whatnot. And we're looking, and you can only put like 5 or 6 people on it out of the 12. It was like half the group was able to do it, and it was like rated like 1 through 5, 5 being the most difficult. So it's like, well, who can do this? I'm like, coach, I got it. I can do it. And sure enough, I went. It was like a nice icebreaker. But that's what those activities are all about with coaching. They try to break the ice, try to get to know people, and take you out of your shell. And honestly, for me, it works just because of my experience there. And after that, they're like, whoa, look, Evan, I was like, yeah, all right, and not trying to toot my own horn, but I was fortunate where I worked. I put people on a rock wall for 5 years. So I was able. I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really was. And I was 23 years old. I was fresh out of college. I mean, you know how it is when you're young. Those are some of the best years of your life. So,
right.
And it really was. It was a lot of fun. And I was fortunate too. I had 2 teammates from college that lived right out there in the area, so I knew some people out there. It's only an hour and 10 minutes from East Stroudsburg, so it's relatively close, and I was able to live for a little bit with one of my old teammates out there in his basement. So it's like anyone think about it. I mean, I was out in Arizona, I didn't know anyone. I didn't even know the area. I didn't know what was going on. Completely different. Beautiful landscape. It's just a beautiful city, but I didn't know one soul out there.
Right.
But, it's more of a home feeling. I've been to New York, and living out there, you already had some familiar faces out there, so I think it was a little bit easier transition wise.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
You have
actually, you know what? You bringing that up, what I'm probably going to do, and I'll text it to Tommy one of these days. I still have everything in a tote when I came home, so I have the schedules in there. We'd get schedules weekly, so I'll send Tommy a picture and he can show it to you guys. That way.
Definitely.
Cool.
And it was all set up by every minute. 5:07, you gotta do this. 5:19.
Oh wow.
It wasn't in intervals of 15.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick. So while you were with the Jets, who were the quarterbacks? Did you just miss Favre being there? For his single year?
I was the year before Brett Favre.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. So would it have been Pennington?
It was Chad Pennington, Kellen Clemens, Marcus Tuiasosopu, he was the third, and then Brett Ratliff, he was the practice squad guy.
Holy crap.
And I actually had a pretty cool experience last year. I was fortunate enough. I actually won a trip to the Super Bowl. The one down in Miami.
Wow.
Cool. The Chiefs and the Niners. And I took my father with me. And my wife was a little mad about that. But I just wanted that father-son moment, My father's, he's 80 now, so he's getting up there. But, so I took him, and the NFLPA, they put on a lot of events for the whole weekend down there, the extended weekend. It's a 4-day thing. And being a practice squad guy, I know I never was on the active roster, but being on the practice squad, I am a part of the NFLPA. So I still get invitations for these events and whatnot.
Oh, that's really cool.
They had a get together down there at the hotel we were staying at. So when I went there to sign in with my father, I noticed that Chad Pennington, he's the president of the NFLPA, or he's a big wig with the Players Trust. So when I signed, he was at the registration when I was signing in. I was talking to the lady.
Ev.
Did we lose you?
We had a good time there, you know. And
We did
my
not.
father was like, "Holy mackerel, he remembered you!" Like just to see my father's like face,
Yeah.
and, like you know, like it was like a proud father-son moment. But it's pretty neat there, you know.
Nice. Ev, can we? Is it okay? Can you give us about maybe 10 minutes? We got we're on my deck out here, and there's thunder and lightning all over the place.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy,
So
my man.
we've got just a couple. If you don't mind, I mean, if you can't, we can't. But we're gonna just move into the garage. We'll hook up real quick.
The old studio.
Yeah,
the
we'll
old
hook up
studio.
quick. We'll call you again, and we'll just finish up. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's no problem. You know, I mean, if I knew this was going to happen, I would have driven to Manning's myself, and I mean, I would have been about half a mile away.
Yeah, exactly. You could have been on site.
You know.
Yeah. All right. Let us move all this equipment inside so we don't get killed, and then we'll be right back with you.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
No
buddy.
problem.
All natural.
There he is. Ev, you there?
I don't think he is.
Hoop. What do we got here?
Did you connect it?
Something's happening.
Yeah. Hold on.
Up, turn it up, turn it down.
Hold
We'll
on.
figure it out. Don't worry, listeners.
Can you hear us?
Ev, you there?
Guess not. I don't want to talk to us either.
Whoop.
Hold on. There, we're fine.
There it is.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I brought the
Hello?
national
Ev,
money,
there
y'all
you
let
go.
me read it.
You got
There he
us?
is.
You got us?
Nope.
Can you hear us?
No, we cannot.
Ev.
We had
Evan.
him, then we lost him.
Damn it, Mother Nature.
You're it.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
All right. I was just checking, testing something.
Oh, I'm like,
All
is
right.
this him?
Is this his wife right
All
now?
right. Thanks.
Do you think the
Okay.
same thing? Yeah, it's got to be
So-
him. So it's him, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got
can
you
you
now.
hear
good?
us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
Sorry about that, buddy. Thanks. I appreciate
All right.
it.
No problem.
So, I know you were telling us about the Hooper talked about the grind and the things like that in New York. The one question following up that I have for you is your the draft is over, right? Everybody anybody that puts the helmet on and the shoulder pads kind of always dreams about the either draft day or what maybe when that phone call comes, I guess, right? So talk us through like what happened, how the draft's over, what happened with that phone call, how did it happen, all that kind of stuff in terms of getting you out to Arizona.
Yeah. So leading up to the draft, it is a process. I went to a couple pro days. We had one at East Stroudsburg, where I did some running and whatnot. Then a couple weeks later, I went to Villanova, where they had a pro day there, where that was a little bit more in depth. Weight testing, on the field work and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And while you're doing all that, you have certain teams coming up to you, giving you questionnaires, like personality tests and things like to go along with like the Wonderlic test and everything. This is a process that takes a few weeks, months, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
And for myself, it wasn't as intense as other guys. I was talking to some of the other free agents I spoke with, like they were even flown in for like visits of the facility and stuff prior to the draft, just like you would if you were like a high school kid looking to go to a college.
Right.
So, people, they do have different experiences based on, where they fall in the pecking order. And obviously I was towards the bottom,
Yeah.
But so the draft goes on, it was, at that time, it was just Saturday and Sunday. It was 2 days. And that Saturday, actually, I had a few friends from Scranton. We came up to Stroudsburg. We did a little cookout at the house there, and we were just hanging out. And then Sunday comes around, and Sunday for me was the time when I would get all my lesson plans for school done during the week. I was student teaching over at in the Pleasant Valley School District at the time. So Sunday I would have to get my lesson plans up for the week, and I'm working on my lesson plans. I got the TV on the draft to see what's going on. And prior to that whole thing too, like I had an agent, and he told me like, a couple of teams were interested, they may give you a call, see what's going on, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So the draft ends, and I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes after the draft ended, I'm in the middle of typing up a lesson plan, and I see I got a phone call from an unknown area code at the time. So I'm using my context clues. I'm like, all right, that's interesting. So I pick it up, and it was the Cardinals, and I spent a few minutes on the phone with them before I gave them my agent's information, so they called him, and then sure enough, sooner or later, about 15 minutes or so, they called me back, and they ended up emailing me the contract. I got that printed. I had to go down to the local Holiday Inn because I didn't have a fax machine in my college apartment. So I had to go to the Holiday Inn at like 11:30 at night, and it was late at that time. It was late, just to get everything like finalized and whatnot. I won't say 11:30. It's probably closer to about 10:30. And I asked them to use their fax machine, so I signed that, and they faxed it right out to them. And then about 2 weeks later, I flew out to Phoenix. I even had the chance to miss my walk at graduation.
Wow.
But it is what it is. It was a great time. It was a good experience. After I got the phone call from Arizona and I was waiting on the contract to get emailed to me, I lived it with Jeff Shrive, another Scranton alum, good friend of mine, and Ricky Rosser, a couple of us at the house there, and we went over to this goes back to Tanner's question. I think it was Tanner that asked me about the ice cream earlier, correct?
It was Hooper.
Yep.
Uber, I'm sorry. Okay, so as I'm waiting for my contract to get emailed to me, we drove over to the local ice cream place in East Stroudsburg, Lewis Milkshake. So we got some milkshakes to celebrate.
Big fan of milkshakes.
Big fan of milkshakes.
So Matt Tanner very disgusted that you confused the two of us. See it if you go back and watch this after the fact. Very disgusted. You'll see it in his eyes on camera if you watch it on YouTube.
So
my apologies.
Yeah,
we all make mistakes. We just learn from them, right?
That's right. Good. That's right. They'll get over it. So it took you 2 weeks to get out to Arizona, right?
Roughly, I think it was about 2 weeks after.
Okay. So now you had said, I think, right, Leinart was the quarterback.
Leinart and Kurt Warner.
Was this Kurt Warner? All right. Was this Ken Wisenhunt? Was he the coach at this time or
Ken
no?
Wisenhunt was the head coach. Yeah, I think it was his second season.
Okay.
So when you go out there and you walk in, you got Leinart, you got Kurt Warner, you got Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald, right? The only thing I could even compare to kind of this feeling was when I was with Indiana and initially started with the basketball team and had that kind of like, why am I here moment. I'm just some little kid from Scranton. Like what was that like? Like when you finally kind of got off the plane and situated and trying, like you said in New York, trying to get out of your shell.
Yeah. So I mean, I only flew one time before that, and that was for a game in college or junior when we went out to Michigan for that national semifinal game. So I'm flying by myself. So like, it's still relatively new to me. I know I'm 23 years old, but I went to Myrtle Beach. No, I was never at Myrtle Beach at that point in my life. I was in Ocean City, Maryland once. So
right.
I never really traveled or experienced anything like that. So, just that whole experience of like packing a bag or two and traveling is, I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but that takes time to adjust and adapt to.
Yeah.
But getting to the airport and getting picked up, brought over to the facility and seeing what the facility was all about. I didn't even have a chance to get into the locker room yet. I just met with the coach. We got our playbook. They had to do the physicals. They had to do EKG, all the jazz to make sure that you're good. By the time you get back to your hotel room, it was probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So now I got to open up a playbook until about 3 a.m. trying to study what I can at that point, and then getting up in a couple hours to go to practice for minicamp. And as soon as I walk in, you mentioned those names about Warner and Leinart, Fitz, and everything. Ironically, they just had sporadic lockers all over the place, and I was sharing a locker with a punter at the time, but our locker was actually right next to Matt Leinart. So, my stool was right next to Matt Leinart. So you talk about being starstruck at the time. Like, you're right. Like, you walk in, like, oh wow, like this isn't East Stroudsburg University. I mean, like,
yeah,
I played Division II football. 95% of the people in there were Division I athletes. So they were around other phenomenal athletes at that caliber. So for me at that point it was like, wow, this is real. But I was actually fortunate because I have a good friend, John Glenn. He actually coaches for the Seattle Seahawks right now. He's a Lackawanna Trail graduate. Played at East Stroudsburg. He was the linebacker with us at the time. But John was best friends with Yogi Roth.
Yep.
And Yogi was out at USC working at USC with Pete Carroll. So he knew Matt Liner at the time. So, I was able to use their names as an icebreaker to, introduce myself to Matt once he was there. So, that helped ease the transition a little bit. But you're right. You walk into a locker room and you're sitting there with these people that a year – like I said, I was playing PSAC football, Division II football, and Sunday I'd be watching the NFL, and I'm watching these guys on the big screen just playing professional football, and then lesson in their presence. And I was like, oh wow, this is pretty neat,
Yeah.
So it was a pretty surreal feeling, It's something you can't really explain to somebody. You just, it's almost like listen, people have dreams of playing pro sports when they're kids, when you're in 5th grade, I'm sure that teachers have asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kids write down, I want to be a plumber, I want to be a teacher, Many kids write down, professional athlete and things like that. So kids think about that thing. But when I had the opportunity to walk in that locker room and see everyone in there like that and just to be around the history of the game and whatnot, it's a surreal moment. It's pretty wild.
So
Go ahead. Was it tough as someone who probably watched Kurt Warner lead the greatest show on turf and then see him in the locker room to not be like, kind of want to get this guy's autograph? I mean, I know it'd be weird. We're teammates right now, but I mean, it's Kurt Warner. It's Kurt Warner. No, don't tell me. Did we lose you?
Like that, but when I first saw these guys walking in, I'm thinking, Kurt Warner,
Yeah.
As guys, but it's like, wow, that's him. That's what these guys are. It is pretty neat,
Right.
Pretty exciting, and they're all great people, Professional athletes, but they're great people. They treat person on the football team, you're out there, whether you're fifth or first string.
Yeah. Did those guys?
All the guys that I've met.
Did those guys make you pick up a tab or anything or pay dinner?
No, they actually got the tab for us.
Nice.
Wow.
A couple of times they took out all the rookies, and we went to this really nice restaurant in Phoenix a couple of times, but the one I remember was a seafood place, and they had an ice sculpture with all the seafood in there, shrimp, oysters, everything, and they were fighting over Anquan, Baldwin. Fitz wasn't. He was more of a personable guy. He never really went out much. He came out the one time, but they're all I got it. And I'm like, they better got it because I can't even cover the appetizer here. So, you talk about $200 steaks on the menu and things like that. I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, what am I going to get here? Like a Caesar salad.
you have a cheeseburger.
Can I have a glass of water, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm full. I had a big lunch. I'm good.
You know what, though? At the end of the day, like I said, they treated you just like you're anyone else, and they were just great people. Anquan Bolden, people like that. They're in the NFL for so many years. They know their job is secure. They look at somebody like myself. I'm probably the last guys on the roster. So.
You there, buddy? It's cutting out. Hello? Ev. Uh-oh.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
We got
Yeah,
you now,
there
yeah.
you go. They keep breaking up somehow.
Oh, and we lost it.
Oh, boy.
It was fun while it lasted.
It was.
He's probably going up and down his front yard.
He's doing laps around it. He's doing laps.
You there?
He's getting his camps.
He laughed today, so he heard you say that.
You there?
I can hear you.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Are you, in fact, going up and down your front yard?
No, I was changing rooms in the house, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't know if it was my service.
Okay, gotcha. So what, like you said, you had your rock climbing story there in New York. Any, give us your best Arizona kind of I don't know, socializing story that you have there during your time with them.
probably one of the more cooler experiences was, we had the opportunity to go out for Matt Leinert's birthday party.
Oh, okay.
And,
Wait. Can we before you went out with Matt Leinart for his birthday?
Evan Prall and Matt Leinart did not go out together, but like the team did. From my Hilton hotel in Phoenix, picking me up, But,
thank you for the clarification. Okay.
So what's that like?
You lost him.
Oh, come on.
This is you want the same.
Come on, you can't. He's doing this on purpose. This is a cliffhanger, no? Come on.
You there, Ev?
I'm going to bug in 3 bars. Come on.
Come on, Ev.
He might be able to hear us. Come on, get to a better room. We can't hear you, Ev. Come on.
Oh, that's
we
not
lost
good.
him.
Come on.
He's got to call back and give us the Matt Leinart. There he is. There's my guy.
Come on.
You there?
Are you in the kitchen now? Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. Where did I leave off?
Matt Leinart birthday. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I said, it's not like Matt Leinart came over and picked me up at the hotel just for Evan Prall and Matt.
Right.
It was the whole team. But we were in we were quote unquote VIP personnel. So he had the upstairs rented out of this club, and he had all the important people in Phoenix there. Like I said, the Suns were there. The players on the Suns were there. So I saw, I was able to hang out with Sean Marin. Steve Nash was there. And I get a kick out of it. I see all these people in there, shirt, tie. Steve Nash is wearing jeans and a white shirt. But he's all out there. It was pretty neat. Like I said, I was 23 years old. T.O. was there. Nick Lachey was big at the time. I don't know if you know who Nick Lachey is.
Yeah.
You probably know who Nick Lachey.
Come on,
that's
98
right.
degrees. Nick Lachey.
Yeah, he was best friends with Matt Leinart.
Yeah,
really?
But was Jessica Simpson there?
Jessica Simpson. No, she was not there.
Damn you.
I know, but
you should tell people she was there.
That was a great time.
I would.
I should.
I'm kind of disappointed. This is the first time I've ever hearing the story right now.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not a liar, so I'm not going to lie and say she was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
I respect that. That's a respectable quality that you can. Yeah.
Those are one of my 3 commandments in life: no lying, no stealing, no cheating.
Okay.
So I think if you can live by those 3, you'll be a good person. But
So anything good happened while you were out with Matt Leinart, T.O., Steve Nash?
Nah, it was just just typical,
enjoying the night.
But it was just pretty. Yeah, it was just pretty neat, just to be around, people like that.
Let me ask you a question. So
starstruck for a little bit.
Yeah, so you're starstruck there. You're around these guys. You're the kid from West Side, right?
Yeah.
I've known you a long time, and it's very few and far between are there times where you have nothing to say, right? So were you quiet? Were you gabbing it up with these guys?
Quiet.
Yeah.
I was absolutely quiet. I wanted to know my role. I didn't want to say anything stupid because I've been known to say stupid things at times. Not think before I speak. So, but I will say, I'll throw it in there. I think it was that same night previously. You know me, you'll see me nowadays. I'm still wearing whatever, old sweatpants and an old hoodie. I don't keep up with the Joneses, whatever you want to say.
Right.
I'll go out and wear a $10 hoodie from Stephen Barry's if they still have it. I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
So when we go to the restaurant before the club, I was wearing my 3-stripe Adidas sneakers, if you remember those, the white with the blue.
I do. Listen,
they were popular back
They
in the day
were.
for,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Middle-class people, lower middle-class people. And I also had my Aeropostale, blue golf polo shirt, going out with these guys.
Collar popped? Collar popped or no? Collar pop?
But it was not popped.
All right.
This is the 5-star restaurant. I was the reason why we all got, we were all denied access because of dress code until I forget who it was, had to show them their NFL. It was almost Evan Prall's fault why we couldn't get into the restaurant because of my Aeropostale.
It almost ruined Leinert's birthday.
I imagine.
My 3-stripe Adidas sneakers.
I imagine Leinart would probably would have looked at you and All right, Ev. All right, bud. You got
to go back to the hotel. You're good,
You gotta go, man.
Or if I went back to the hotel, it's like I'm back with an East Stroudsburg University hoodie. I didn't have anything else.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome,
that's a good
man.
one.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but they were good times, man. You know, I was able to see my first In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popular out there.
I remember you came out to
Vegas.
Vegas with me.
Vegas.
Yeah. And this guy, he sees an In-N-Out burger. It had to be how long of a drive, or not a drive, but a walk.
What were you in Vegas for?
Athletic training convention, right? National convention.
Yeah, I tagged along.
And Ev tagged along.
In Vegas?
In Vegas, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a great time. Great time. Not a lot of learning going on.
Probably how much time you spent at a blackjack table?
Blackjack, sports book, pool.
I can tell you
The
there
strip.
was everything else but training going on there.
Yes.
Those blocks on the strip are like 3 blocks,
Right.
to 1 block here. Like they're long.
He walked. He had to walk
I
like
walked to the In-N-Out
20,
burger.
25 minutes to go to In-N-Out Burger, crossing freeways, everything to get to it.
I gotta get my burger.
I'm like, I'm good, man. I'll see you when you get back. And
I'm on a heater.
He's wearing a T-shirt, right? He's got the book bag on, and the book bag had like one of those straps across the chest.
One strap
right across the chest.
I know what you're
when
talking
he
about.
got back, he took the book bag off.
He had a sweat strap.
Sweat strap.
Yeah.
The whole he was still wearing it. But he got his In-N-Out burger.
That was the day before we flew back. It was like 120 degrees.
Was it worth it? Was it worth
They're
it?
breaking record for how hot it was.
Was it worth it, that walk to get the In-N-Out?
You know what though? I mean, like, here's my thing, and my wife and I, like, she's a good sport. She'll travel with me. I like to travel. But like wherever we go, like wherever I'm at in different parts of the country, like I just want to take in as much as I can. And I'm at that point in my life. I'm like, I've never seen an In-N-Out burger. Like I'm not going to get back to it, so I want to get it.
I'm almost positive. Go ahead. Finish. Sorry.
I was going to say, here's what was confusing. Like it's not like a McDonald's or a Burger King where they have like 1 through 12 on the menu. Like you get a number 1, you get a number 2, you get a number 3. They have 1 burger, and you can get it single, double, triple, and then you can get animal style. Like that's it. Like it's not like they have a triple.
So was it a letdown?
No, it wasn't a letdown. It was good, but it was different. You know, it was different, and that happened 2 years ago. We were out in Portland, Oregon, and we did a Seattle Pacific Northwest trip, and we were going to an Oregon State game, and I think I saw a Jack in the Box.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have them here. There's something we don't have here, so I just pulled into the drive-thru to get like mott sticks or something small, just so like this is pretty cool. I was never here. Let me get one, you know.
Yeah.
So like that's all I'm all about. You know, I want to go take it as much as I can when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And you're listening here probably thinking I'm a fast food junkie, you know. But
no way. So now with two Mid Valley guys here that I have, our mutual buddy Jared Bonda, right? Bonda. You got to get him on the radio show next week. Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
God,
So when you came out to Vegas, right?
Yes.
You came with us, and were you? We'll keep it nameless, but were you seeing somebody in our party? Is that how you really ended up with us?
No.
No.
Bonda. No. I just.
That's right, because of Bonda.
Trainer at Riverside.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the athletic trainer at Riverside, so I
you came along with
dealt
Bonda.
with Bonda, coaching football and coaching track.
Right.
And
that's right.
He was going. I was like, I'd love to go.
Yeah.
So and he wasn't going with anyone. So
right.
He had the extra. It was a 2-bedroom place. He had the extra bed in the hotel room.
Right.
So it just worked out conveniently.
So when we went out there, right, we flew Spirit Airlines. I don't know if you've ever flown Spirit Airlines. It's not a recommendation I would have. They put you in the back
I've heard bad things. I've heard
with
bad
cats
things
in cages and stuff, and pay
sounds like my type of
$6 for a
place.
water on a flight out to
I'm
Vegas.
gonna get a flight for $25. Sign me up.
Yeah. So. But
when you're 22 years old,
you
when
did
you're young, I don't care.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
as I'm getting older with my sciatic and stuff, that I have to fix every once in a while, I do care.
Not a chance. So, do you remember Bonda was in charge of ground transportation when we landed in Vegas to get us to our hotel, right? Do you remember that? what happened to us after when we landed?
We couldn't find. We couldn't something. I don't really remember the exact story. I just remember that we all had to pile in with the other group or something like that.
Yeah.
Into like a giant black vehicle. Like I don't know. If
Yeah,
it was an
huge
Uber.
limo.
I don't think Uber was at the time or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
But,
big.
he dropped the ball on that.
It was a big limo. He screwed it up royally. So Bonda's in charge of getting us from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel back to the airport. That's his only responsibility for the trip, right? He books, and he's all proud of himself because he books this limo service. I can't remember the name of the limo service, but regardless, we can't find where we're supposed to go. So there was probably a good 12 of us traveling together, right? And everybody's just cranking on him. Like, you screwed this up. How we getting there? Right? We end up seeing we're going by people, picking up your baggage and stuff, and you have all of these guys in, like, suits, tuxes, limo drivers, and they got the, like, real cool signs that have, like Tanner, or whatever, right? We're like, no Bonda, no Bonda, no Bonda. We're, right? Like, buddy, you really screwed this up. It's like some Russian guy, right? And it's scribbled in, like, Sharpie.
Probably has mustard stains on his shirt.
On lined tablet paper, and it just says Bonda, right? We're like, we're going to get in the limo with this guy?
This is the dude?
We're going to die. Like, to this day, we never let up on him.
My kidney's about to be on the black market because of you.
Right. Yeah, that was
But I remember walking through the airport. Like, it took us forever. Like, it was a forever. Like, where is this? Like,
yeah.
Like, it just got to the point I just wanted to get to my room.
Right.
I just wanted to be checked in.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was it.
Beautiful.
But yeah, we had a good time out there. We went golfing one day out there. So
yeah, that was before the days I golfed. I didn't go with you.
Yeah, it was just me and Jared. He obviously lost.
Obviously.
Of course. No doubt.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a good time out there, Tom. We had a lot of fun. It was
always.
It was nice.
Yep. Well, buddy, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate you dialing in and
we
helping
appreciate
us
the
with
weather delay.
The weather delay
sure.
and coming back to us. It was a great.
Yeah, no problem.
Great catching up with you.
Have great talking to you, man.
Likewise.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, great talking to you guys. I appreciate everything too.
Great meeting you
guys are good
via
people.
cell
You guys are
phone.
good people.
Thank you. Appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Good luck with the baby on the way, and remember October
Absolutely.
2nd.
October 2nd. Yep.
Best
That's
of luck.
for that.
2 weeks early, so I don't know if we can push that out at about 38 weeks. I don't know.
You could pull it off. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Never say never.
It'll be all right.
You're right.
Add it to the case study.
You're right. I can use it in class. I can use that experience in class.
Yes, you can.
Exactly. All right, brother.
But appreciate it, guys. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good talking
Thanks, buddy.
to you.
You too.
See you
Have a
later.
good night.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay. See you guys. Bye.
Question I have for you guys.
Yeah.
When he was talking about his Arizona story, about like, I went out with T.O. and Steve Nash and Matt Leinart, couldn't help but thinking, who's the most famous person I've ever been around? I don't know.
John McGloin.
At
this point in my life, yeah.
Like
he's looking at these people saying, "Oh my God, I'm in a room with them."
Yeah.
I would have been like going up to him and be like, "Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan." How was your day going? Like, I would have lost all
Can I get
control.
an autograph?
Yeah, I would have lost all control.
I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here. Can I get an autograph, please?
Listen, this might not pan out, but I know I'm going to have this autograph for the rest of my life.
I imagine, Tom, you're the most famous people you've been around, or the most important thing you've done is this podcast with us two.
I don't know. He's around Antoine Randall.
Yeah.
It's us, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's us, though.
I'm not going to say.
You guys definitely
I'm just
beat
a
out.
half-black kid from Troop. Nobody cares about me. Let's keep it real.
Oh, my God.
But in reality, man, I really can't. Like, my experience at Indiana and Syracuse and being around some guys that played professionally in baseball, basketball, football, it's not obviously even close to the same of you being on the same roster as these guys, even with for 10
that's what I
minutes.
mean, right?
So it's
like
just.
he shared a locker room with them. Like, there's definitely some stories in the locker room that happen they can't share with us. Like,
oh yeah. There's no. I mean that was a very nice version of the Leinart birthday party.
But I mean,
I'm sure the off-pod story would be
the
much
R-rated
different.
The golf course story is
right.
yeah.
right.
Which, speaking of that, I've never met him. Like, apparently you've played flag football against.
Great guy. He
I
coached
would-
against me.
I feel like we should. I've for sure get him to go golfing. Every time we're in the garage, it's like, oh, this person should go golfing. For sure.
Yeah.
Set this one up. This foursome. Us three and Evan.
He's a trip, man. I
Yeah.
can't.
He's very personable.
Yeah. He seems it.
That's why I said, like, when he's with all those guys at that party, there's no way he stayed in
Quiet,
the corner
yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
He might have been for the first 10 minutes, but I mean, I could go back. He mentioned earlier where I was a senior, he was a freshman, and Evan was always kind of my little brother by proxy anyway, because we're always around, always playing in the neighborhood and stuff. And like anything else, you get into junior high and stuff, so you kind of start, even though that age
Drifting apart a little bit,
hasn't changed, maturity wise, you kind of are, and then you kind of come back to it once you get into high school, and
start figuring it out a little bit.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden now he's a teammate when you're running track there at the end of my senior year, and and like I said, he was giving him rides all over the place. He's hanging out with us all of a sudden now, and he was always you'd have to tell him, like, dude, relax, slow down, slow down.
You're
like,
good.
Yeah, we're cool. Everybody's, but I love him. He's the best.
All right. So seems like it's going to be the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's revisit the question at the beginning, chooping it up trivia.
Go ahead, Tom.
I have got
You go
some response. Hold on. For the people that are tuning in late, the question was 2006 Miami Heat.
Can I actually go first?
They bolstered Hall of Famers. Shaquille O'Neal, future Hall of Famer. They were the NBA champions. Future Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
They also had 2 other Hall of Famers that played in every finals game. I'm not saying they started. They played in every finals game that year. Who were they, Matthew? Go ahead.
Alonzo Mourning and Gary the Glove Payton.
Tom.
Really?
I'm not giving him the yes or no.
Oh, man. You threw me off with that one now.
So who did you think? You said one of them. I'm guessing the one that you thought you knew was
I don't know if he's Hall of Fame though.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Juwan Howard. And
Ooh, I forgot about him.
Juwan Howard and
that's a good one too. I'm confident in my pick though.
And Ray Allen. But I think I'm way off on Ray.
Ray didn't get there until
I think he would play with LeBron and those guys, right?
He was with Yeah.
So
Was I
the
wrong?
correct answer, I figured the one that you were sure of was Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning, Gary the Glove Payton.
Let's go! Let's go!
Are you
They
serious?
were the
Let's
two.
go.
Yep.
You need a goddamn hobby.
Yep. And you knew that right away, which I figured Alonzo Mourning would have been like, yep, it was, Alonzo. I thought Gary Payton would have been the one that, because that was 2 years after he played for the Lakers. I figured he would have retired. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, God. Gary was playing in 2006?
Yeah, this is flawed. This is flawed.
Go ahead.
What do you mean?
Pissed.
Because
Be pissed I'm right.
2006.
Be pissed I'm right. You're
How
wrong.
old are you in 2006?
Oh, 2006, I was 13.
Right, that's right in your wheelhouse. I'm 26 years old. I have 2 kids. You think I remember who the hell's playing for the Heat at that time?
Go ahead. Let's ask something earlier. I bet I get it right.
You can't.
so.
You hit me with 92 Duke trivia or something like that when I'm 12 years
you
old.
want me to? All right, I'll bring something from the early '90s next week. I don't know.
Early to mid 90s while I was in high school and in college.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find something from Indiana that I'm gonna try to stump you on something with Indiana. But
that's
we did
impossible.
I know we
you'd
did
probably
have.
be able to.
We did have.
I'm not a trivia guy like that, man.
We did have a couple correct answers. Actually, we didn't because I didn't personally share. So Brendan Karski actually responded pretty quickly.
Way to go,
Pretty
But
quickly.
did he Google it?
He may have, but he responded
Kaharsk.
within probably 10 minutes of me posting it. Sent a message to the
Kaharsk
Instagram.
was like 6 months old.
Gary Payton and Alonzo Mourning. And Colin Shear on Facebook actually also got it correct.
Way to go, Sheer.
I'll give it to Sheer. Definitely
Yes.
know it.
Yes.
Sheer knew it.
Yes.
Kaharsk, I don't know.
Google, yeah.
He
It's
Googled it.
it's a
Kaharsk,
thing.
yeah, he had to be like 5 or 4 at that point.
It's a thing, yeah.
if that.
I'm not even sure if he was born at that point.
Probably a twinkle in his daddy's eye.
Yeah, he was in Baby Bomber Pampers.
All right, so this was a hell of an episode.
Absolutely.
This was
Hell
a
of
great episode.
We had Ronco, we had a lightning delay, we had a former
had
NFL
the
player.
Evan Prall.
It was wild. Music's playing.
I don't know. I was right. That's all that matters.
Matt was right. Tom didn't even get one of them right.
Mr. Trivial
He
Pursuit.
said Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard. I'm not even. I don't even think he's on the team.
Joseph. He was on the team.
He probably played with LeBron. He probably played with Ray and all those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know if he played.
I don't think he played.
You know what? You're right.
And if he played, he didn't play. He did not play.
All I know is that he's coaching Michigan right now, and he's having a great time.
How about Dickinson coming back?
He is?
Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly is now breathing a little easier because Hunter's back.
I just saw the dude from Ohio is going. The point guard.
Kid from Maryland, too, Wiggins, going pro.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Like Evan said, too many cooks in the kitchen, man.
Duke screwed.
Too many of these guys.
I thought we were ending it, but Duke screwed. Like Matthew Hurt, like you might not even get drafted. You were going to the NBA. Great. Probably make a lot more if you average 20 a game again at Duke this next year.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, it's fun.
See you next week.
It's been a pleasure.